Good afternoon, Paddington. This is Mr. Fry. I felt very honoured and humbled when Mr. Ali asked if I would like to contribute toward the Pearls of Wisdom series. I have to admit that my first thought was that there would be other people more worthy to give advice. My self-doubt and being critical like that led me to my pearl of wisdom, and that is that we all have something to offer. It's important to believe in ourselves. This self-belief can help us to achieve our goals and dreams. There's 7 billion people in the world, including us. Every single one of us is different from each other, and everyone has something different to offer. Einstein said, "Everybody is a genius." Everybody includes you. One of the greatest thinkers known to mankind said that. Everybody is a genius in some way with something to offer. You probably don't think you're a genius. So what's stopping you from realizing this? Well, for the whole quote, Einstein said, "Everybody is a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it is stupid." Notice that the quote doesn't say, others will believe the fish is stupid. He says it will believe it is stupid. Einstein is saying something very important about self-criticism here. We can be incredibly harsh on ourselves and can easily convince ourselves that we are not good in a particular area. We teach ourselves to be critical, and that very definitely affects how we approach our goals and dreams. Here's a good example of how not being critical helps you achieve. So think of a child learning to take its first steps. A baby hasn't learnt to be critical of its own actions. The child sees its parents walk, sees its brothers and sisters walking, and so the baby is inspired to be able to do the same, and tries over and over to stand and walk, again and again until eventually he or she achieves that hugely difficult goal and can walk, one of the first things that it can do on its own. Now, think of a moment recently when you tried something new and you've criticised yourself if you didn't get it right the first few times. You may have even thought that you would never get it right. Maybe you were trying to run before you could walk. We can even be self-critical when we're good at something. Think of a subject in school which you love, or an activity that you really enjoy. There will probably be areas within that subject or activity which you feel you're not as good as you'd like to be. For example, maybe you excel in algebra, though you're not good at all with geometry. You could easily convince yourself that you're not good at maths at all. But being critical is part of the human condition, and it does help us to improve ourselves. It helps us steer towards the correct direction. But we can overdo it. Sometimes we convince ourselves too well that we're not good at something, and that can steer us backwards. Maybe you've had a bad experience in a subject, a poor test result, some coursework which didn't get the grade that you thought it would. It doesn't make you a bad person. It doesn't mean you're not as good as other people, and it certainly doesn't mean you're not bright. And outside of school, think of the bigger picture. You may have moments when you feel like you have nothing to offer, but everybody does have something to offer. Think that about yourself, and think that about others as well. Can a fish climb a tree? No. Though a fish is specialised to swim superbly, its ability to climb a tree, non-existent. A monkey climbs a tree beautifully, as does a fish swim in the water. Be kind to yourself if you can't do something at first. We develop different skills at different stages for all sorts of reasons, and that helps make us unique. So make mistakes. Fall over when you try, just like the baby. It helps you learn. It makes you who you are. We're all different, and it is something to be celebrated. So believe in yourself a little more. Maybe then you'll find your genius inside. I hope you do.